Mr. Blue, I'll restate the question. Buy Bessemer First is a slogan that our city leadership should take to heart. What will you do to ensure that the city supports buying Bessemer in vehicles, insurance, and all purchases?
What I would do is the same thing that the city of Hattiesburg in Mississippi has done, as well as what Mayor Pt3 has done over in Hoover. I would immediately launch an aggressive ad campaign letting people know what goods and services are available here in the city. When it comes to the city government, in terms of who we dole out contracts to, I feel that what we should do is make sure that the bidding process is open and honest. And barring that, then I think that we should look at the local dealerships. We need to look at, for example, in the issue of insurance. I work for Medical West. One of the things that we do is we go with an alternate insurance company besides Blue Cross Blue Shield. But since the majority of residents here go to UAB to receive their health care, I think that it would bode well for the city to look at alternative health care besides the ones that are traditionally available to us here in the city.
Thank you. Mr. May, I'll restate the question. Buy Bessemer First is a slogan that our city leadership should take to heart. What will you do to ensure that the city supports buying Bessemer in vehicles, insurance, and all purchases?
Oh, Ron, let me tell you, as the mayor, there are very few things that the mayor actually has control over, that is, that he can dictate. One of the directives that I have given to all my department heads is that if they're going to recommend that we hire an individual, then if somebody whose name is on that list lives in Bessemer and they don't recommend that person for the job, my edict is they've got to explain to me why not that person who lives in Bessemer first. In respect to your specific question, I believe that we should, in those instances where we can, spend our dollars where we live. However, as has been alluded to by a couple of people up here who know what the law provides, we're obligated when those items exceed $15,000, we're obligated by law to bid those items out. I have, over the years, attempted to convey to the local business community that is the law, and that they would have to be on a bid list in order for us to purchase from them. The lowest bidder, the lowest competent bidder wins those bids. If we buy a car from a local dealership for $40,000, and we could purchase that same car in Montgomery, Mobile, or Huntsville for $20,000, I am of the opinion that it would be wasteful spending to buy from a local dealer. At the end of the day, we are trustees of the public funds, and we are obligated to get the best for the least amount. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gully, I'll restate the question. Buy Bessemer First is a slogan that our city leadership should take to heart. What will you do to ensure that the city supports buying Bessemer in vehicles, insurance, and all purchases?
Well, as many of you know, that I am pro-business, and I've been a chairman of the board for the Bessemer Area Chamber of Commerce. But we also have to look at the fact that there is a bid law, and the bid law requires a 3% advantage to the dealerships that's in your city. So if there's a car to be bidded out, then that bid law, if you're 3% higher than anyone out of town, then that means that you can still go with the dealership in your city, because those sales tax will actually come back and to benefit your city. Now, we also look at the fact that if there are any services, be them insurance or any service, it just makes sense to buy your city, because that individual pays permitting fees, pays in some instances property tax, pays many sales tax, pays many taxes into your city. So that's a no-brainer, so to speak, that if at all possible, it just doesn't make any sense to shop anywhere else but your city.
Thank you. And we'll go to the second question. And Ms. Davidson, you will be first to answer this question. Every year the city has increased its budget, yet there is very little noticeable change. i.e. projects, infrastructure, budget increases for chamber employee raises, a 2% and 3% raise in the last 8 years. What do you propose to do to change these practices? It's a long one.
First of all, I think we need to go back to where we used to do, include the department heads in planning the budget. When you have the department head there, you have someone to represent each entity here in the city of Bessemer. All the employees will be recognized. That department head or their destiny that they will send to the budget meeting will be able to say what they can do. What if we put in the budget that they need 5 cars, say for instance the fire departments, they need 5 fire trucks. Their chief might say they might not need 5 fire trucks, they can do with something else. Only that person can tell us what can be done with the budget. I think that will help a whole lot with the capital improvement if we include the citizen, the department heads, and some of the employees in budget when we are making that budget. That way everybody will be on the same accord. When it's passed, no one will be dissatisfied about what we passed. Everybody will be happy because everyone had a chance to take part in it.
Thank you. Ms. Alexander, I'll read the question again. It's a long one. Every year the city has increased its budget, yet there is very little noticeable change, i.e. projects, infrastructure, budget increases for, I don't know why they put chamber, employee raises, a 2% and 3% raise in the last 8 years. What do you propose to do to change these practices?
First of all, when elected, I will have an audit done. First of all, you need to know where your city stands before you go into any kind of budgetary planning. As far as the raises for the employees, I have no problem with raises for the employees. If the money is there, I'm all for employee raises. As far as infrastructure, the changes in infrastructure, we got grants, stimulus money, and federal money that is applied to infrastructure for the city of Bessemer, city of Birmingham, and other cities. We must put peoples in place as far as department heads, our I think it's the street department, our building department, and our engineers. Our engineers plays a very vital part in the city of Bessemer. We can apply for grants for infrastructure through them and through our economic and development department upstairs. So what I plan on doing is getting somebody in there that can run a community and economic development, apply for grants, get a grant writer. That would bring money into the city of Bessemer so that we won't have to use our general fund. Then our general fund can go to give raises that is much needed in the city of Bessemer. That is what my plans are.
Thank you.